Ultra Video Pirate Oi! Wanted to show you how to install this Facebook Comments WordPress plugin that I found by WP Dev Art. On my website at anetcomputers.com, I've had comments enabled for some time, but the built-in WordPress comments, and then I make people register and log in on my website. Otherwise, you get a ton of spam. And I don't like to install too many plugins on my website. I know anyways, not to digress. So I'm going to show you how to install, configure, and get Facebook comments working on your WordPress website using this pretty simple WordPress plugin. First, you need to have a developer application ID. You would browse to developers.facebook.com, and we'll transition now. And if you haven't signed up for developers.facebook.com, you just have to enable it. Once you get into the developers.facebook.com, on the upper right hand side where your little icon is, avatar, whatever you want to refer to it, there is My Apps. So you would choose the drop down arrow under My Apps, then choose Add New App. Then you're going to get this pop-up. So you want to enter in just the display name. You have to create an app, a Facebook application, so that it will use Facebook's advanced programming interface, their API, and then it will talk. That will allow this plugin to talk back and forth with Facebook, and that will allow Facebook users to comment on your WordPress website, either the home page, posts, and or pages. So we'll just type in comments WordPress. You have to enter an email. We can type in nothing, Joe at, I'm going to be deleting this account anyways. Oops. Now before I finish, if you already have a Facebook developers account enabled and you already have created an application, you can use the application ID. The only thing you need is, once you create an app, is the application ID. With this plugin, you don't need the secret password or the passphrase, the secret code. So you would enter it. You have to choose a category. Just choose whatever you want. I don't know why you need to do this, but you have to. I'm just going to pick. Do they even have internet? Well, I'll just pick business. And then click Create App ID. There's CAPTCHA. Just everything is paranoia now. Just absurd. I hope I get the CAPTCHA right. I think I got it right. Okay, now it's going to take you to this product setup. You don't need to mess around with anything else below. Not the Freemasons, as above, so below. I'm not a Mason. Secret societies, that's pretty nutty. But I've studied them a lot. So I study secret societies and the system and Orwell and the nanny state. But I don't want to digress. You don't need to mess around with anything here. Now, if you notice you have your app ID, you could probably click to copy it now, because you're going to need it. Click on Settings on the left-hand side for your new application that you just created using Facebook Developer. There's your application ID. You'll need that. Just showing you that you can copy and paste it again. You don't need to worry about a secret, an app secret, not with this plugin. Now you need to click on below Add Platform. Click on that. Since you're creating a Facebook developer application for your WordPress website, you would choose website as your platform. Enter in the URL of your website. So I'm just going to enter in anetcomputers.com. Enter in whatever your website is. It needs to know what URL, so that the Facebook comment app plugin will work. Now, Facebook has their own. It's a little bit of code. The problem is I don't like to mess around with parent or excuse me, child themes yet. I don't like to mess around with my WordPress files or theme files. Plugins, I don't like to have too many, but this one was so easy to install and so easy to configure and get working that I was like, wow. But you could go to, and I included it in the blog post at my website anetcomputers.com, with if you're able to learn easier by reading in the abstract versus listening to a clown like me try to walk you through it. I will have a detailed blog post written with instructions on how everything that you need to know, and then I will include that link in this YouTube video description. This to me just made it easier rather than, now if you use Facebook's plugin, comments plugin, you have to either post the HTML in every blog post that you create, every page that you create, or you gotta inject it somewhere in your theme or somewhere on your WordPress website for you so that it will automatically enable the WordPress comments plugin. This plugin does it for you. So now that we have the website URL, that's all we need to worry about. We already have it. Now we go back, you go to your WordPress website. Now I'm going to show you how to download this Facebook Comments WordPress plugin by WP DevArt. WP DevArt. So on the left hand side, look for the plugins and then select add new, and then on the upper right hand side under search plugins you'll just type in Facebook Comments WordPress so it's quicker to get to his, and you want to look for by WP DevArt. This is the one I'm showing you how to configure and to work. There's other ones obviously on screen, but they might not have the same steps. Click on install now. Then once installed, you want to click on activate. Now the plugin is activated. Now we want to configure the plugin. However, I'm going to use a different application ID, but in order for you to get it working, you want this application ID right here. That application ID, and I'll show you where it goes. You have to have it so that WordPress can talk to Facebook's advanced programming interface, and that will allow Facebook users that browse your website, they stumble upon your website, no pun intended, and you've got some just fascinating blog post about Facebook or the consumer show in Vegas or whatever, and they want to leave a comment, but they might not want to create a WordPress account and then log in and then comment, or it depends on how you have your WordPress site. This is if you want to allow Facebook users to comment on your WordPress website, either the home page, single posts, or single pages, or all of them. So here we go. But I'm going to be using a different application ID that I know works and that I want to use for my website. So that's why I transitioned. So then you would, here, let me transition back and I will show you. Now, on the left hand side at the bottom, you will see the Facebook logo, the F, the blue F. Choose FB Comments. I'm just showing you where to get to it once you've installed and activated this Facebook Comments WordPress by WP DevArt. Then I will transition so that I can get that key or the application ID, and I'm going there right now. And then, alright, let me delete that one out of there, and then I'll show you again. Okay, now on screen, as you can see, you see where the app ID, this is where you would paste it. And this is the app ID from the app I just made. You just copy and paste it into this app ID important. Without it, it won't work. And you don't need to enter in a secret code, just the application ID. Now the title, you can change that to whatever you like. Now Pro, everything in green that says Pro, there's 4 of them. That is for the professional version that you have to pay for. This is entirely free. I haven't paid for the professional version. It does what I need just as a free plugin. Now the order type, you can select either social, newest, or oldest. I prefer newest. So the newest comments will be at the top. That's what this is. The comments at the top, it'll sort it by either newest, oldest, or social. You can change the font color, you can change the size, you can change the type of font. Now you can change the position of the centering for the title, or you can change the position. Now here's what I thought was second most important, at least to me. Display comments on. When a Facebook user comments on your WordPress blog post, page, or your home page, depending on how you have it set, this is where this enables it. So you don't have to use Facebook's comments plugin. You don't have to get their HTML code. You don't have to figure out where in your template, or you know what I'm saying, or you don't have to create a child template or whatever. This plugin does it for you. Now if you have all 3 set, which I don't, this would allow Facebook users to comment on your homepage, posts, blog posts, and pages. I don't want people to comment on my pages. I don't want people to comment on my homepage, but I do want people to be able to comment with their Facebook account on blog posts. So I'm going to choose that. You can choose the size of the comments in percentage, the box width, number of comments. By default, you can change the number of comments that are listed, and then these other 2 are pro, and then that's all you need. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to transition back, and then I'm going to copy and paste the code, the application ID that I want, and then I'm going to test, and I'm going to show you the plugin works. So just let me transition, and then I have it quickly on screen. And the reason why you may not want to, I wouldn't want, allow anybody to see your application ID, especially since this plugin doesn't require the secret code, because anybody could use it. You know what I'm saying? So then once you have everything configured, at the bottom there is the orange Save section. Click on that and it will save your changes. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go back to the dashboard so that you can't see the application ID. And then we're going to test it. So I'm going to browse to my website. I am that narcissistic. I am that shallow. Browsing my own website. This is a recent post I wrote about Facebook comments. I just told you that I had a blog post with all the instructions. I need to change it a little bit because there were... Anyways, that's not important. It will be included in this YouTube video description. Now at the bottom, check it out. Comment with Facebook. Now that you see the title, you can change the title to either be center, right, or left. You can, in the back end, you can change the sort to either newest, oldest, or social. Now I'm going to test it. And then you see, notice how down here it says Facebook Comments Plugin. It actually uses Facebook Comments Plugin code. However, the plugin does everything for you. You don't have to scramble for a child theme, or you don't have to... Now this plugin does have short codes. You could probably disable everything on the back end and then use a short code on every new blog post and every page, but it's like, no, I don't want to do that. That's not why I want this plugin. So this saves you, at least saves me a lot of time. So I'm going to testing WP Dev Art Facebook Comments WordPress plugin, and I will select post, and it works. So now, from now on, your Facebook readers will be able to comment on your WordPress website depending on the settings. It just depends on how you have it set for either all of them, home, posts, or pages, or just whatever. There are short codes, but I'm not going to go over that because I just wanted to show you how to, create a developer application, show you where to, blah, 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 blah. That's it. So I've been wanting to integrate Facebook comments on my ANET Computers blog for a long time. There are other plugins, but this one, the reason why I choose this one is because a lot of the other plugins weren't being updated, and that's not, no bueno. This one seems, and then this one, there were 20,000 plus installs, so that's a big number. The reviews were a lot of the reviews were really good, and then I tested it and it worked right out of the box. So I will include the blog post at my website, anetcomputers.com, with detailed instructions on how to get this plugin installed, working, so that Facebook users can comment on your WordPress blog. Adios!